introduction for all the platforms. Usually we have a gap between the private channel and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So welcome to our Monday Heart Resonance energy practice and transmission, which is a meditation, which is an energy practice, and we call it the spiritual gym because you are highly engaged into the energy practice, building your light bodies, building your heart resonance, building your connections, building your psyche, building the highest frequencies of your essence on your and in your physical vessel. So right now, as we are everywhere online, we are as usual sharing and speaking about a specific topic, introducing the specific news that we have to share with you. And then if you would like to join the heart resonance practice, the energy practice, we invite you to book your ticket. It's a paid session on Monday, so you have the link somewhere around the video, above, below the video, wherever you are watching me right now, us right now. You click on it, you book your ticket, you receive an email with a link and a password, and the link redirects you to our private channel where we broadcast all our live stream and where all our sessions are available in replay as well. So, welcome. And I cannot see you if you are on Facebook, so because all our phones are in front of us.
We are using all the phones.
So if you're on Facebook, we have a fourth phone here. If you're on Facebook, welcome. On Instagram as well, welcome. And on Crowdcast family, welcome as well.
And on Crowdcast, Karine saying Georgie, Matildo, and baby yes. Say hi to you back.
See, it's taking shape. I was discussing with one of you today, and it's like, oh, your belly is growing so fast. I said, yes, I know it's growing fast, and it's taking like a nice shape, and there is no one to see it except George.
I'm taking some pictures, not all the time.
We will take some pictures so we can share.
It's very nice to witness the growth of the belly and the shape it's taking, and knowing that there is a being inside and you are soon to meet and talk to that being, or maybe right now already meeting in the astral with the being.
Yes, so see, you can see a little bit like this.
Baking.
So yeah, baking. She's doing great. I'm doing great too. Thank you for asking. So once again, welcome to the Heart Resonance Energy Practice previous prayer talk, and then we will move on the private channel. So if you would like to,
for people watching us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, this is the pre-talk, the talk to introducing the practice, and we have as always spiritual talk we're going to share. Mathilde, today we're going to talk about resilience, and I'm going to introduce from my side what we are doing on the background with the pillar of light of our community. If you're following us for a while, you understand that we have unconditional love community. Unconditional love community, we have grown up and we have practiced almost daily with the community. Heart resonance, expansion, higher self, higher gate, unconditional love field to strengthen our connection, to expand our consciousness, and also so we can do an energy work to provide unconditional love to the humanity and the collective consciousness of Earth.
Yes, exactly. So,
as I'm going to, as mentioned, to introduce, we have on the background, starting tomorrow, a very important project. We felt the calling to do it. This project opened only for the community. If you would love to be part of such a project, you need to study with us. Soon enough, we have courses will be online. You can start right now with Heart Resonance Practice, the short meditation. Send me a link. I will send it to you to practice it every day and join us in the community. The project that I'm going to start, we're going to train the community, selective people who decided to join this intensive training, to train their consciousness and their energy to astral project, literally, into the higher realms and ask for request to connect with the timeline and shift the timeline for at least with the group and then eventually for all humanity for a better outcome, so we can somehow relax the resistance and the difficulties that humanity are facing and align with the timeline that will become more beneficial, more helpful, more supportive. And we're going to request specifically learning through unconditional love, not learning through difficulties. We're going to request that and send it to Timeline. It will be a very intense energy work with the community. I will do it, all of it online. But right now we're starting, it's booked, but for you to understand this kind of work we do a very advanced spiritual work with unconditional love and requesting Timeline for ourselves and humanity through unconditional love. Requesting, changing the timeline, changing our reality, that we can grow and expand as a humanity and learn and evolve through unconditional love, is not through difficulties. We can request that, but require a little bit of specific understanding and specific direction. So that's what we're going to do, and hopefully you guys send your love with us while we are doing this intensive practice for 2 weeks. Yes.
Yes, it's a beautiful project, and I will say it was a bit of a weighted project. George knew that it will happen actually at that period of time almost.
When I started the Unconditional Love project last year, I sort of have the intuition that we will need this project, and we will need to create a strong community and evolve them so fast, because something will be required. I didn't know what will happen, of course, as what's happened right now, the difficulties. And then at the first of the year, 2020, literally, I mentioned several times that we need to do to the next level, because it will be important and required for us. Also, in my guidance, I didn't receive what will happen, which is the coronavirus, obviously, but I knew that we will be very much needed, and we need to evolve so fast so we can shift the whole timelines into more positive outcome. And then while we are progressing, we were taking our time, I would say, and said, okay, till the end of the year, we'll prepare for this expanded level of training. And then coronavirus happened, and then I realized, well, reality was saying, no more waiting, it's a time, and it forced us to speed up the process and evolution for our best, of course, so we can learn and grow faster to face the challenges. And then I knew that why we all have been doing this couple of years of training and preparation for such a time, to change, to face, to be a pillar of light in this important time. We always mention that all the unpleasant experiences, everything happening in life, is asking all the humanity to grow and evolve to the highest version available to them. So sometimes, as I mentioned, priority outside, limitation outside will take us and draw us outside from our inner power and focus on our inner power and our inner growth. And then reality will come and say, no, you are not going to waste your energy into this outside limitation, outside confusion, outside distraction. You have to go inside, that's where you grow. And then you found yourself, the inner asset is the most powerful asset. Your divine essence, your connection is the most powerful asset. And that's how we are doing here right now. And hopefully we open up those training once we finish them in maybe a couple of months. Training on the astral, connecting with the higher realms platform, connecting with some timelines and shifting timeline, requesting, as I mentioned, this is most important. If you can hear it right now, it will be beneficial to you. Requesting, changing your reality, changing your growth with unconditional love as a teacher, not with the difficulties. We're releasing difficulties as a need of growth. We take a responsibility to continue growth without difficulties, with only unconditional love as a teacher.
So it's growing spiritually in our realization as human through events in our lives, and we grow more equipped. So we are accelerating the process in a way, and we are calling for it, because everything outside is a reflection of ourselves, right? So we are calling for those events in a way, or we are experiencing those events for building our equipment for growth, and our equipment for amplifying our desire to continue the expansion. So this project is very close to George's heart, and therefore to mine, and And I would say it's also thanks to the community that is ready and is also calling for it, because without people, pillars that we call them, like light keepers, pillars of light, without pillar of light to receive it, there is the energy can be spread, but it needs to be anchored, right? So thanks to them, thanks to the community, this energetic work can prosper, can continue, can enlarge, and can really spread beyond what we can fathom. So if you are also in desire to receive those type of teaching, those type of wisdom and knowledge, and remembering of your inner knowing, remembering of your innate power, remembering of your highest self potential that can be embedded in this physical vessel and container, then please join, because we are our passion and our calling is to share all that we have been experiencing, all that we have received, all that we learn, all that we have researched, all that we have implemented and tried out, and that works, that really works for us and for thousands of people that we shared with in the last, I would say, you and I, 20 years almost of teaching and guidance. So that is, you want to add something?
No? Continue.
So that is said, I would like to share with you today about resilience. And if you are with me on Facebook and Insta, you have seen my post yesterday about resilience. And it's a topic that came last week actually, but it felt very, very right to share it yesterday and to share it as well today, not last week, about resilience and about courage and strength. Again, it's some word that I really use a lot. There are frequencies that we both embed with George very well, and it's something that is required and inevitable in your spiritual growth, that is resilience, courage and strength. What we are experiencing today, which is in all the spectrums of emotions, all the spectrums of state, all the spectrums of consciousness almost, it is a platform, I would say, to strengthen your skill and gift of resilience. Either you are born with it and it's one of your qualities that you are shining in your everyday life, in your behavior, in who you are as a human, either you are recalling for it and you are learning it. Resilience is something that is important and essential to grow, and to grow in your better and purest capacity, because resilience is something that gives you the strength and the courage to recover from events, from situations that have pushed you into corners, that haven't been comfortable, that haven't been pleasurable. So what we're experiencing right now is something that touched us personally. And I think that I'm pretty much right for this. Like, that outbreak is touching everyone on this earth, so it feels a bit personal. But the other events that are really intense for some people that are in other countries, and we don't feel personally touched by them, we don't have that same level of desire or the same level of experience that will shatter our self-insight, if it makes sense. It makes sense so far? Yeah.
Continue, babe.
So as it becomes personal now, and we are really in that phase where we need to rearrange our lives, to rearrange our habits. I mean, for us it's pretty much the same, but quarantine without is our life hasn't changed so much. But I will say that people are asked to rewire their habits, to rewire their rhythm, to see outside the box somehow, to accept. There's a lot of acceptance. But we spoke about that, so you know. So it means that energy of resilience is, how do I remain, first of all, centered, heart-centered, mind and head-centered into my life, and how do I recover from it so I move on and I can gather those lessons, I can gather my new habits, my knowledge gathered and compiled during this moment, so I can bring it forward. What is happening now, unfortunately, it won't be the last one. there will be other challenges that bring us globally to rise again, to rise from new heights, to continue to move on, to tap into highest frequencies, to tap into the depth of humanity's suffering. So that's only sequences and waves that are coming for humanity to arise, for humanity to awaken. It doesn't mean that it needs to be painful, and it's what's gonna be the full teaching starting from in a couple of days with George. It doesn't need to be suffering or difficult, but it's there to show something, or to show that we are evolving as a collective, and your resilience is making it faster, smoother, and stronger to receive all the I would say qualities and lessons from the event that is happening in the moment. I've been hearing a lot about Ascension is now. Ascension has been there since humanity started. We are ascending in a way through layers of events, through layers of challenges. It's not the first time that humanity have experienced that, but we are called to remember it. We have big depth and we have some heights, and we are really rising into new heights in our era. That's why we call it like we're moving to the 4D and then 5D and so on and so forth. But I won't go further into that. So it means that Ascension is not one event. It's not like we are going through that, when it's done we are ascending. No, it's not how it happens. Ascension is a life path. It's the pathway of embodying your highest frequencies, embodying your highest self or highest aspect, your Christed self. Is embodying your highest wisdom, is being a being of love. It's living life, breathing life from all its aspects and the purest aspect. And it's what I said, and I like that sentence, is being your purest aspect in the denser matter. So as dense it can be, you remain pure and high frequency. And ascension can be for your bubble reality. It can be on a collective. It can be for your own persona, your own being, your own field. But what I mean by this is it's not one event. It's a completion or a sequence of events and realization that leads you to lighten up and to rise into your own frequencies. So resilience is a quality that is required for ascension. Is a quality that allows you to recover for what is not pleasurable, what is challenging. And once you acquire it, you will see the benefits of it in every moment of your life, in every situation that may be perceived outside you that can come as a challenge because you are not in control of what is outside you. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. Resilience in the adversity, resilience in the events that are not in your control, that do not depend on you in a way, like you are not co-creating consciously, and resilience in your everyday life, so you make the best of your life, so you make the best of your growth, and so you also make other benefit from it.
Let's digest this. And the more you allow this resilience happen in you by maneuvering into difficulties and keeping your light in the darkest state, this will allow you to stay in this high frequency and continue your own ascension. And in that sense, ascension and on the individual level, not on the collective, on the individual level is you growing your consciousness into the layers where you embody more of your higher self, higher wisdom. And here we can put some numbers like 4D, 5D, 5D, 6D. We are right now as a humanity, the word that we agreed, most of the spiritual people, is a 4 density, entering the 4 density. And we're accessing a bit more of the 5th dimensional reality. That can happen on the individual level if you continue this light, this alignment, releasing all your weaknesses, bringing more of your higher self, and growing through practicing resilience through difficulties, and keep bringing more of your consciousness. And today also in the energy practice, we will work on embodying our fourth density and fifth density consciousness. And it has a quality, slightly different quality than the lower density, which is a 3D density. 3D density consciousness is operating from the solar plexus, for example, which is selfishness, ego mind, control, and into a higher density consciousness, which is love, unity, spiritual understanding, accessing your higher self, accessing your greater wisdom,
The power.
accessing your own divine power, knowing that your divine power is not an outside things to attach to, is an inside inquiry and growth. And then you go into higher than that. Also, as I mentioned, fourth density, fifth density. Fifth density is understanding the wisdom and speaking the truth. Now we're talking about the throat here, if you are familiar with the chakras. So knowing the universal truth, knowing your spiritual truth, knowing your consciousness truth, how consciousness operate, what kind of dimensions, what kind of connection to the stars, the universe, how reality and parallel reality works. Those will come automatically the more you grow and allow. You start witnessing that reality is not solid. You start witnessing a different realization, a different perceiving of the reality as it's not solid, and as you are in control always, the more you have this alignment, this divine presence. And you can go further if you want to continue with your own individual ascension, which is sixth density access, accessing the astral realm, accessing beyond time and space, accessing the multiverse, and actually meeting in your meditation, in your dreams, meeting consciousness, meeting higher teachers, meeting higher angelic realms. And you can continue. Well, I'm not sure right now humanity ready to more than that at this moment. I mean, if you achieve sixth density in an individual level, please come, let me meet you and we'll have a chat. I would love to hear your stories and your wisdom. So this is on individual level, as Mathilde was mentioning. On the collective is not just happening in one day, because we have variety of consciousness and variety of fruit and how we perceive and how we are growing. And some people till now, as Mathilde was mentioning, not ready to such extent of a consciousness. They're still living in their own limitation and fears. And our role in that situation, in those difficulties, like today coronavirus for example, is to sit in our light and shine our light bright in those time for the other to remember that they can also connect with their divine essence and they grow themselves too.
Yeah, and before we close the talk and we start the energy practice, so one more time, Instagram and Facebook, thank you for joining. We cannot see who is online, so thank you for your presence and for popping in and listening to us. And we'll reply to your questions if you do have questions after that. But following to what George was saying, it's what I wanted to say, the
Baby
collective,
the baby is
the collective shift. Like, remember that we are on the earth plane, even if the consciousness of earth is heightened up and is ascending, I would use that, or elevating, we are still on the 3D plane where we have that huge bandwidth from 3D to 4D, where you still have we still have a balance between the positive, as we are into polarities between the north and the south, and the positive and the negative. So I would say till we really stretch and break that bandwidth, we still experience both sides, and therefore the collective ascension is not going to happen on few 50 years. I don't want to put number here, but the collective part is a high work in progress. Individually, this is your own resilience, courage, and practice and determination and realization and embodiment that will make the difference, and that you can actually explore and move to higher densities. So my point here, and that I would like to share with you, is whatever you read online, and right now the pipelines of social media are bursting from right, left, and center, where you have all those information available to you that was already available before, but you have time to go through. I believe that you have time to go through all those information online. have your own discernment. There is nothing wrong or right, but have your own discernment. Explore, feel how it resonates with you, and don't jump blinded into information that you haven't verified with your own channel and your own personal wisdom. This is very important, so you don't get dragged into a black hole of information that will be more a distraction than a focus for you in this moment into your spiritual growth. So we will stop for now for the talks. If you are joining only right now, please watch the 30 minutes before. And if you are in your desire to join our full transmission and energy practice now, the link is somewhere around the video. Click on it and you will receive the email super fast.
Yes.
So you can join the Crowdcast private channel and join
Tonight practice.
Everyone that is there.
Will be carrying a bit of preparation for the intensive training that we are holding with the Light Keepers. So we're going to call for the fifth density and fifth dimensional reality of Mother Earth. And this name is, I think, familiar for you, which is Gaia, but the higher consciousness of Gaia called Tara. And this is another old name also was always mentioned to Tara when it was in her glorious state, where we were as a humanity, we were in golden age at that time. So we're going to call that from Mother Earth, going to the Earth, and all the Royal Guardian, if you are familiar with the Royal Guardian.
Consciousness.
Higher consciousness from Mother Earth, that's supporting the timelines and the ley lines of Mother Earth. And then we're going to, of course, continue with the energy practice with the higher self and expanding our density. We're going to work on the fourth density and fifth density to prepare to access the astral realm for the work that we are preparing to do as a community, to ask for a shift of the timeline to be more harmonious, more positive in nature, more aligned with our responsibility toward the growth, learning through unconditional love as a teacher, not learning through difficulties as it's not required anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for watching.
To see you
in the Crowdcast. If you want to join the energy practice, the Monday spiritual gym, or otherwise, we see you on Sunday next week.
Yeah, Sunday next week. It's free. It's a gathering and a training with the Unconditional Love community.
Or on Facebook group
where
also.
we focus this practice into changing timelines. We discuss, you have a couple of the pillars of the community sharing their own practice too, so you can meet them and experience the practice, experience the words and experience the work and being part of that energy practice. So if you're already having your own, you will be able to melt into that practice, and if you are coming to be part and feel the energy, then you will be held, and it's our pleasure to welcome you at that time.
And receive healing also and energy practice with the community.
And for the spiritual gym, next Monday, same time, same place. Please join. We are already and always online, so it hasn't changed since years. So,
we've been doing it for 4 years.
So we are all set and ready, and the advantage is the house doesn't move, so everything stays as is.
Yeah, it's easy. You put the light, we are on. Love you guys, and see you either in the Crowdcast private platform for energy practice or
for
next
virtual
week.
hugs online.
Love you guys.